What's happening, party people? Welcome to Punchboard Party. My name is Daniel and this is Hot Take, where I take a look at 5 trending board games on Board Game Geek, tell you why they're trending, what's cool about them, and what I think about them. Last week's video was a little late because I had a job interview. Unfortunately, I did not get the job, but there's still a couple more prospects out there for me, so not all hope is lost, but continue to send good vibes and prayers my way, please, as I continue my job hunt. So because there was a little less time between hotness videos, there wasn't as much changing of the guard, so to speak, on the hotness, but there's still some really cool things to talk about. So let's get right into it. Right off the bat, we are gonna go off grid, totally off the hotness, because I just saw the teaser trailer that dropped a couple days ago for Masters of the Universe Clash for Eternia. And it gets me a little excited. It doesn't show a whole lot, it just shows minis. And again, I'm not the biggest mini guy, but it just looks cool. So Masters of the Universe is just really hot right now. We got a new Netflix show from Kevin Smith of all people, like that's amazing. And now we have this new board game produced by Simon Games, and they are just parties in a box. They are so good at designing fun board games. And so it's just kind of this awesome pairing of this old nostalgic IP that's just getting a lot of love right now. So a few things about the game. It's going to be one versus many, which for me is a bit of a, you know, I don't like one versus many as a concept now that we have such good ways at doing cooperative. But this game does offer a fully cooperative mode, but they said that it works best and was designed for a one versus many concept. But the twist is you can play as the heroes as the one and not just the villains. So if you are the one, or the controller they call it, then you can be the heroes or the villains, and the rest of the players can play as the villains trying to disrupt the heroes, or in the traditional sense of the heroes trying to take down the villains. So that's kind of neat. See how that'll play out. One thing that I'm quite interested to find out more about is the power system in this game. So as you are going through campaigns and as you are leveling up and getting new items, you're going to be increasing your power. And it's not a straight up currency. Yes, it allows you to pull off your special moves and all that stuff, but the unique factor here is that when you increase in power, your opponent also increases in power to kind of match you. What worries me is that one of the biggest thrills in board games for me is when I get an edge on my opponent or my opponent gets an edge on me, and the thrill of either catching up to my opponent or keeping that lead on my opponent is something that I really delight in when I'm playing a game. And if there's just this sort of automatic mechanism that matches both sides to one another, I don't know how that's going to work so well. I think that takes a bit of the tension out of the game. But now I'm sure they've accounted for that and that there's something that I'm missing in the description here, but I'm really interested to see how that actually plays off. So again, going off grid today with Masters of the Universe Clash for Eternia. Let me know, are you excited for this game? Why aren't more people talking about it right now? Let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are on the Masters of the Universe as an IP in general and as a board game. Still sitting at number 1 on the hotness is Gloomhaven, and I just want to talk about it a little bit more. If you haven't heard, Gloomhaven is a print and play game that you can find right on Board Game Geek, and it's a handheld version of Gloomhaven. You hold cards in your hand in a certain way so that you can just play a full-fledged Gloomhaven style game with Gloomhaven art and characters and all this stuff and powers, and it just fits easily in the palm of your hand. And I wondered last week if it was going to result in a hand cramp. And there is a thread on Board Game Geek confirming that people are opting to play this on the table to avoid their hands cramping up. So I feel vindicated on that point. But the really cool thing that I want to update all of you on is that if you're not a print and play person, that's okay. The game has now been developed by some Board Game Geek users to be on Tabletop Simulator. So now you can play Gloomhaven on Tabletop Simulator and not worry about print and playing it and holding it. You can just play it right on your computer. So if that interests you, if you really want to check it out, please do so that way. Down below, if you've tried this, if you've played it, let me know what it's like. Because if this is a successful port, so to speak, I'm excited to see where this idea takes the hobby. So let me know your thoughts if you've tried it. And if you tried on Tabletop Simulator, let me know down below. At number 2 on the hotness is Freeride by Friedman Freeze. This is a true blue train game from Friedman Freeze. And I think this is kind of funny because to me, Power Grid, his most popular game, I think, is a train game just with a different theme. You're building routes and connections. You have a stock market. You have a stock market thing going on. You have a stock market thing going on with the way you buy resources and how they increase and fluctuate in price. And so to actually get a real train-themed train game from him is kind of cool. Again, it looks like a lot of his designs. Like it looks like Fayum, it looks like Fast Sloths, it looks like Power Grid, it looks like he just does maps with routes. And that's kind of where he lives. And that's okay because people like his designs. And this one got me interested. The thing that I'm most excited about is how you select the routes that you are going to build. So there's going to be 6 choices of train routes that are made up of 3 cards each, and there's 45 locations across the board. So when you're looking at a set of 3 cards that make up a route, you're only going to choose 2 of them and then return the 3rd card to the box. And the first card that you choose is going to be your departure point, and the last card you choose is going to be your destination. And so you have to then construct your line in that order, from starting at the starting card that you chose and then ending at the finish line. And so then you're looking at these routes that are available for when you're coming to the end of a construction of a line to try and end up in a spot where you can easily start a new line conveniently. And I just like that kind of selection of, I got some options, but I'm kind of hemming myself in now because I have to start here and I have to end there, and there's no more options beyond that. But the options are out with these 6 different routes to choose from, and within those routes there's variability with how I start and finish my track. So I think that's going to be really cool. So this is coming to us in September. In Europe, you're going to be seeing it a little earlier than that. And so I am excited to check it out, see how it plays. It gives me a Turn-in Taxis vibe, which is a game that I really enjoy. That is Friedman Freeze Freeride. Down below, please tell me, what is your favorite Friedman Freeze game other than Power Grid? What other games has he done that have really shone on the table for you? Let me know down below. Next on the hotness is a war game. You're not gonna find me talking about war games very often because they intimidate me and they bore me. Not that the game bores me because I haven't actually played one, but I don't feel drawn to them at all because they are just maps of countries with little cardboard standees with a bunch of stats for units that you deploy and try and get into strategic situations. I'm sure that they're fun, and it would be fun if I gave them a chance. I just don't feel any impetus to give them a chance. I'd really prefer playing a game with more theme and more excitement, and that's why I'm talking about this game. This is Plum Island Horror, and it is coming to us from GMT, which is a huge prolific war game publisher. And this game is, it's funny how the designer in the BGG threads described it. It is a serious simulation of a government conspiracy or cover-up. And they don't actually use zombies in the rulebook or in the flavor text at all, but the cover looks very zombie-ish. So there's some sort of government facility, and there's these zombie-like creatures or characters that are now emerging, and they're moving down tracks on a board, and your job is to defeat these hordes and evacuate a certain number of civilians around the map as you're doing that. So you have 2 objectives that you're trying to accomplish at once. It's nice to have a little bit of a fantasy comic book pulp theme thrown into this. It definitely gets my attention. And who knows, I might find myself getting into war games and this being my gateway. So we'll find out. So you can pre-order the game right now on GMT's website. I'll put a link down below so that you can do that if this sounds interesting to you. I want to know about you and your experience with war games. Have any of you played war games? What do you think of them? What are your favorites? Do you have any suggestions? So war games, down below. Tell me what your thoughts about them are. Last but not least, and I certainly think the most exciting, is that we finally have some more updates on Great Western Trail 2nd Edition. We have new pictures and we can see the art on the board and some of the changes that were made to the gameplay that we can intuit from these new images. So it's got people talking on BGG. They're really excited to find out more about this game and when it is coming. It looks like if you're going to Gen Con, you'll be able to pick this up at Gen Con. As far as pre-orders, they're really not sure about the numbers, so they're nervous to take those right now. So we're probably looking at late summer, early fall that we'll be able to get this into our hands from a retail store perspective. But again, let's just go through some of the additions that we're seeing. So we're getting a solo mode now in Great Western Trail. We're getting dual layered player boards so that the tokens that you're putting on your player boards don't get shuffled around and mixed up as you're playing the game, so a bit more user-friendly that way. There is a new breed of cow, and this is really interesting. So the cow starts off as a calf, and as you travel with them and bring them up to Kansas, and if you don't sell them like normal, they can then upgrade and continue to grow into a full-fledged cow. So it's this kind of timing thing where you're like, do I sell them right away or do I hold on to them? And this decision space there seems really interesting. And then we also have just kind of some changes to the route on your way to Kansas to make it a bit more challenging but also balanced from the original version of the game. So small tweaks overall, but hopefully we're going to get a better gameplay experience. The question is, now that we know more, if you already own Great Western Trail, are you going to upgrade? So let me know down below, are you going to upgrade your copy of Great Western Trail? I'd be really curious to see how this sells. I'm excited because I don't own Great Western Trail yet, so I'm just going to pick this one up when it comes and enjoy the heck out of it. So there we have it, party people. That's Hot Take. I hope that you saw something today that piqued your interest and has got you excited. I know that I'm looking especially at the new changes to Great Western Trail as well as Masters of the Universe as that develops. So if you're enjoying this content, please consider subscribing, especially if you watch regularly or are not subscribed yet. I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and also smash the like button, as they say, because it works and it gets my videos out to more people and I get to share the love and joy that I have of board games with others, which is something I really love to do. So until next time, party people, have the best day.